Hello, callers, and welcome back to Viva Barca. Welcome to another interesting episode where we are going to be discussing on the latest developing stories. We start with Martin Zubimendi, as it has been reported that the Barca priority midfield target will not leave, says Real Sociedad president, that he is going to stay by all costs. We are also going to be discussing on that. Then secondly, in this video, talking about João Cancelo, another top target for Barca at right back. It has been reported that Barcelona have started talks with the Man City defender. Club cannot push for the transfer right now. So guys, as we get right into the full stories, please do ensure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Turn on the post bell notification to always stay notified whenever I post a new video. Consider liking the video and please watch it right up to the very end. Speaking to the media, Real Sociedad president Joaquim Aperbe has claimed that Martin Zubimendi will not be leaving the club this summer amid strong links to La Liga champions FC Barcelona. With Sergio Busquets set to leave Barcelona imminently, manager Xavi Hernandez has made it abundantly clear that he wants a top-class pivot midfielder to replace his captain in the summer. As such, Martin Zubimendi is understood to be at the top of Xavi's wish list, even though Barcelona are in a tricky situation financially and might be unable to meet his €60 million release clause. Despite that, though, Xavi continues to prioritize a move for the Spaniard, but La Real president has pretty much ruled out the possibility of Zubimendi leaving this summer, claiming that the defensive midfielder wants to stay put in San Sebastian. He said, "When they come for a player, there is little you can do, but I don't think any of the Real players are going to leave," the president said. He continued to say, "We are certainly not going to open any doors for them." Talking about Zubimendi in particular, Sociedad president said, "Nobody has told me that they want to buy Martin Zubimendi, and I believe that Martin is going to stay and that he doesn't want to leave," he said. "He is a very important player for us who wants to play in the Champions League next year with Real, and we have no intention of seeing him going to Barcelona or any other team," the president said. When further probed about the transfer and asked if he would answer a call from Barcelona president Joan Laporta, Aperbe said, "Yes, of course, I will answer the phone for sure. Joan is a great person. He can call me to congratulate us because I'm sure he's happy that Real are in the Champions League," he said. Apart from Zubimendi, Barcelona have several other prospective targets on their minds for the pivot position. One of them is Guido Rodriguez of Real Betis, and unlike Sociedad, Los Verdiblancos are open to selling the Argentine international. Of course, the replacement for Busquets will be the most talked about. There's no doubt about that. That this coming summer, we are going to be singing the replacement of Busquets than any other transfer target. Of course, Busquets finally played his last game yesterday in Barca colours because he won't play against Celta Vigo on the last match day. Xavi have confirmed that Busquets and Alba will be rested for the last game. So yesterday's game was their final game in a Barca shirt. So it was a great time having them and wish them the best in their future ahead. Of course, Barcelona have been looking for replacements, especially for Sergio Busquets in the DM role, as Barcelona still haven't decided who to go for. Because definitely there is no doubt that Martin Zubimendi is our top choice, or let me say is Xavi's top choice. But it's going to be very tricky, and more tricky because the president of Real Sociedad, speaking in the recent interview, have rolled out such a move, saying that Zubimendi is so important for the team and he doesn't think any of them will leave, and he doesn't think any of his players will want to leave anytime soon. And especially Martin Zubimendi, who is one of your best players, have no plans of leaving, and he won't even accept him to leave. So that is a big blow for us, we know that. But all hopes are not gone. All hopes shouldn't be lost. That is how they always say, right? We quite remember people like Robert Lewandowski, when Bayern president, all this, in fact, the way they were even talking about Lewandowski, it seemed as though nobody would ever buy him. But what happened during the day? So at the end of the day, most of these talks from these presidents of clubs are mostly political. All are just politics because things can still happen. The summer window is still far ahead and a lot of things will happen. No matter what they say, I don't think Barca will be scared about such words by the Real Sociedad president because what we have heard in the past have been worse than what this president of Sociedad just said. Players will not go, they're not going anywhere, blah blah blah. But what happens at the end of the day? At the end of the day we sign those players. So I don't think it's any big deal. Barca still have a lot of options by the way. Even if Zubimendi doesn't come, we have players who can still come. Of course, Sofian Amrabat. We have, of course, there are players who are still there, and of course, they might come. So the options are not limited just to Zubimendi. A lot of players and Barcelona want to ensure that they must, as I said, there must be a replacement for Busquets next season. Then on to the final story of discussion. Barcelona are in a rather complicated situation when it comes to their defense next season. Ronald Araujo, Andres Christensen, and Jules Koundé make for an excellent centre-back stacking with one of the best young fullback prospects in Alejandro Balde on the left. Inigo Martinez is also set to join the club on a free transfer, which will make things even more competitive. On the contrary though, with Jordi Alba set to leave the club at the end of this season, Barca will only have Marcos Alonso as Balde's backup, not to mention the lack of any natural right back in that team. Jules Koundé and Sergio Roberto filled in at right back through the season, but the former is not ready to continue in that role, hoping to play as centre back, which he enjoys playing there. The latter, on the other hand, is not convincing enough. As such, Barcelona have started talks to sign Manchester City's João Cancelo, according to a report by Florian Plattenberg. The Catalans cannot, however, push for a transfer right now, as their financial situation is quite delicate. The Portuguese defender is currently on loan at Bayern Munich and will likely leave Manchester City permanently at the end of the season. His price tag is set around 40 million euros if reports are to be believed. His ability to play on the left and right side both makes him an exciting signing for Barca, but a permanent transfer will command a very huge amount. As such, they will likely pursue a loan deal with an option to buy at the end of the temporary tenure. Bayern Munich have refused to trigger the permanent clause on the contract worth 70 million. They took that decision very early on during his tenure there. The player was also clear that he will end up leaving the club during his initial weeks at the club. Meanwhile, Xavi wants to sign the top right back at all costs and has three names on the table, including Cancelo himself, Joan Foyt, and Benjamin Pavard. So guys, with that we have come to an end of this episode. Thanks a lot for watching. Until next time, bye bye.